What if the very plan you thought was keeping your blood sugar under control was actually making it worse? Hi, I'm Jared, a registered nurse and health coach who reversed my own diabetes. I've worked with thousands of patients, and I can tell you that most people are managing their diabetes in a way that almost guarantees more meds, more side effects, and more scary complications over time. In this video, I'm going to show you the 3 biggest mistakes diabetics make and how to fix them. Now, if you can avoid these, you'll not only protect your blood sugar, but you'll also give your body a chance to actually heal. Let's start out with chasing numbers instead of root causes. So, have you ever felt like you're chasing your blood sugar all day long? Checking the meter, trying to fix the number, but never really getting ahead? And most people stay stuck in that cycle. They see a high number, then they scramble, skip a meal, go for an extra walk, or take another pill. But that's kind of like putting tape over your car's check engine light. You hide the warning, but the problem's still there. And deep down, you know it because you're still tired, you're still craving, you still feel frustrated, and you're not alone. Because research shows that most people with type 2 diabetes end up on multiple medications within just 10 years of being diagnosed. Not because they failed, but because the system is designed to chase numbers, not fix the real problem. Now, I'm not saying that you should ignore your meter. Blood sugar checks matter, but if that's all you focus on, you'll always feel stuck because you're treating the symptom, not the cause. The real problem isn't the number on the screen. The real problem is insulin resistance. And until you address that, diabetes will always feel like a moving target. But when you shift your focus to lowering insulin resistance with food, lifestyle, and daily habits, your blood sugar begins to stabilize on its own. That's when you stop chasing numbers and finally start gaining control. Now, what's the danger in relying only on medication? Well, what happens when year after year your doctor adds a new pill or even insulin and your numbers still don't improve? I've seen this countless times as a nurse. A patient comes in on one medication. 6 months later, they're on two. A year later, insulin. It's like they're trying to stay afloat in a leaking boat and they're bailing water out with a bucket, but the hole in the boat keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, the stress, the cost, the side effects, and the feeling of being chained to a pill box all wear people down. I had a client spending nearly $600 a month after insurance on just one of her medications. The sad part? Her A1C was still going up. She felt like she was doing everything her doctor told her to do, but still losing ground. And sadly, that's the reality for many people. They don't get healthier. They just get more prescriptions. Research shows that more than 50% of people with type 2 diabetes end up on insulin within 10 years of diagnosis. Not because they're lazy, not because they failed, but because the medical system is built to medicate symptoms, not reverse disease. Don't get me wrong. Medication can be life-saving. And for some people, it's necessary. I'm not telling you to throw away your prescriptions, but here's the truth. If medication alone were the solution, we'd see more people getting off meds over time. But instead, we see the opposite. So if you really want to move forward, you have to patch the hole. And that means addressing insulin resistance. And you do that through food, lifestyle, and daily habits. That's where real progress happens. Meds become a support tool, not the whole plan. And for many people, that's the path to fewer prescriptions, fewer side effects, fewer complications, and real freedom. And if this sounds familiar, if you're tired of chasing numbers and adding more meds, I put together a free guide that walks you through the 6 steps I use to reverse my own diabetes naturally. You can grab it for free in the description below. What about if you're following the wrong food plan? Have you ever tried to follow the advice, eat balanced meals or everything in moderation, but your blood sugar stays high? That's where most people with diabetes get stuck. They're told to keep eating the same foods that spike insulin: bread, pasta, cereal, just smaller portions. But that's like mopping the floor while the sink is still overflowing. You can work as hard as you want, but the mess just keeps getting bigger. And that's why so many people feel frustrated. People eat whole grains, snack on fruit, avoid desserts, but their A1C still climbs. They follow the advice perfectly. The problem is, the advice itself is flawed. The foods they think are helping are keeping blood sugar high all day long. Research shows that the average American diet is over half carbohydrates. For someone with type 2 diabetes, that's like throwing water on a grease fire. It absolutely makes it worse. I hear it all the time. but my doctor said I can eat what I want in moderation. But here's the problem. Moderation is a moving target. One person's moderation is another person's overload. And for someone with insulin resistance, even a so-called healthy portion can keep blood sugars high all day. So sure, you can eat in moderation if you're okay with being moderately healthy with not so moderate complications. The truth is, you can't heal diabetes eating the same foods that caused it. Everything changes when you start eating in a way that lowers insulin instead of raising it. Fewer processed carbs, more whole foods, and spacing out your meals. When you do that, numbers come down naturally. That's when food stops being the enemy and starts becoming the most powerful medicine you have. So now you know the 3 biggest mistakes most people make when managing diabetes. But here's the good news. You don't have to stay stuck. If you want a simple roadmap to start fixing the root problem, I put together a free guide called 6 Steps to Reverse Diabetes Naturally. You can grab it for free below in the description. And if you're thinking, okay, but what do I actually eat each day? Watch my next video, 16 diabetes foods to eat often to help reverse diabetes. It's the perfect next step after today's video. I'll see you there.